seem to know what we're doing and where we're going now, sort of.
What if you could explore a world across an ocean and full of culture?
From here, it's all uphill.
Right.
Stair step for 2001.
A place where the mountains are high.
And I am beat. Damn it. I am happy.
All the make great epic cocktail.
In spring 2009, our team of 3 explored 23,390 foot Barunse in Nepal. This is our story from the jungle to the heights of the Himalayas.
We are still stuck here in the Good Times Clubhouse at 21,500 feet. This is the best view we've had in a while.
This is Ski The Himalayas, Barunse 2009.
Fight back the puke, the water. Sounds pretty disgusting. I'm joined here with Josh Butson and John Miller, climbers extraordinaire. I'm Ben Clark, and you are looking at Barunse, a 23,390 foot peak that we are attempting to climb, and which way to go? What do you guys think?
That was the East Ridge we were just looking up.
There had been a group that had tried that before. Not sure if they succeeded or not.
And there's us. That rib, kind of in the center of your screen, is kind of the northeast rib, face, whatever you want to call it.
And it's huge. Wow. Okay, yeah. So there's some icy sections, some rock. Then there's a big snowfield above that hanging glacier, and then the summit is about to come into view now. That's where we want to go. And a little windy on this day, right? We're at like 19,000 something.
A little breezy. You can tell by the tent. Doors flapping around. Gear's still there in the morning. That's good.
Getting cold out there. Definitely not a warm day. Not a bad day for a rest day. Glad to be chilling out in here. Our skis on. That would be some tough, cold weather.
Yeah, we'd be really getting tossed around if we had skis on trying to walk through that.
The tan is one thing. If you're getting thrown around on the slopes, those skis on is a whole nother. This route looks pretty good. You guys get a good look. Yeah, looks a low angle. Looks like it's got some steep sections. Mixed, a little rock and ice. And looks like it'll go. Doesn't look too bad. Looks like we're gonna have some work ahead of us.
To say the least.
Yeah.
And how long did it take us to get to this point? This is like day 20 something of the expedition.
Yeah.
And our acclimatization schedule had been totally screwed up just because of weather. Our trek-in took so much more
I
time.
think John, first big morning.
There's John Miller.
Good morning. Definitely felt the altitude a little bit today. A little puke this morning. But feeling a little bit better. Overall, actually feeling great. It's gorgeous today. The wind is still. The sun is shining. Beautiful day. Gotta love this place, man. Absolutely gotta love it.
Feeling pretty good this morning. Wind's died down. Temperature's pretty warm. John and Josh look good. And yeah, I think we're just going to scurry across underneath the route.
Scurry.
Get over to a safe spot where we can access it pretty quickly. And then hopefully, yeah, sitting underneath it today, figured out. Looks pretty good. Looks a little bit more lower angle than thought. It's nice to actually be out here and be comfortable looking at it. So I think things are good, feeling great. Glad to be in the Himalaya. And yeah, same typical stuff. I'm fighting back the puke, fighting back the water, fighting back the lunch. And yeah, typical high altitude stew. Always something, but it's all about the rally.
The warm weather's not helping at this moment.
So here's the route again. The East Ridge is directly in front of you. We're going to be going off to the right.
We weren't particularly happy about going underneath the East Ridge just because there's some cornice action up there and some possible ice fall, but it was okay. I mean,
There's no wind in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Nice, calm, still weather. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty chill, huh?
Yeah.
Typical morning. Calm, blue skies, completely clear weather, light breezes, south to southwest, 10 to 15.
Hey, John, you're going the wrong way. John, you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, wait a second, the mountain, we should climb. I really think we should start climbing forward.
Yeah.
Instead of walking backwards up all these peaks. It's
The
too
joy of being the
challenging.
middle guy on the rope. It's like, okay, so I have to deal with the rope going to you, and all tangled up at me, and
I'm
Yep.
always happy not to be in the middle.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't.
middle sucks. Two-man teams are easy. Three-man teams, somebody's always in the middle, and you're either getting pulled from behind
Pushed from the front.
or watching the rope slide past your feet from the front, or who knows what.
Yeah.
Now you got a handle on it, though. It looks
Yeah.
This is like, just give me a moment, let me get untangled, and then we'll be happy.
good. Then I'm ready to walk underneath the freaking gnar.
John, those are chocos you have on there?
Nice. Yeah, I think this is one of the first times we were able to get John in a pair of boots. He normally climbs in chacos. And this terrain was pretty chill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Another camp. We've got the wind still blowing. Beautiful day. Blue skies. It took us forever, though, to get across. We started over by that little pyramid peak right above John's head.
It was a longer distance than we really, like, it's perception trap, like, it was longer than we expected, and it was just so hot that we were just dying.
Yeah. It was a long day. I led across that day, and all I was thinking was, when's it going to cool off?
Yeah.
It's too hot. I don't want to fall through any of these snow bridges.
Yeah, conditions were pretty awesome underfoot, but definitely not not above the snow.
Yeah. And you can't, and you're on the glaciers, you can't strip off all your layers because you're on a glacier. If you fall in a crevasse, you need to have your layers on.
Yep. And then if you're also self-arrested, keeping somebody from falling into a crevasse or a big hole in the glacier, then you want to at least have gloves on, and you want to have a long sleeve shirt on because you don't want to have your bare skin sitting on the snow while you're trying to anchor off and get that person out.
Which basically involved just being really hot.
But none of that happened, luckily. We had a completely fun trip with, some amazing footage coming up, not only right now, but we're actually ending the series with some killer ski footage. Pretty awesome stuff. But you'll have to watch all 14 episodes to get that. Just throwing that out there, you guys, just throwing that out there. As these skis continue to pop into view, you've got to know there's going to be a little bit of skiing somewhere in this series. So what are you guys thinking right here?
Well, I mean, I was feeling, and this is my first time at altitude, and I was definitely kind of getting used to that whole thing, but looking at the route, I felt like it was definitely going to go. How about you, Josh?
As I'm looking right there.
Feel good that we stopped. I'm pretty grabby today. Slow going. Not feeling myself, but we're here. Set up camp. Maybe we'll get some sleep tonight. Maybe John will stop hitting Ben, and Ben will stop hitting John, and both of them will stop hitting me.
Yeah,
It's not personal.
it's so hard to sleep, isn't it?
It's like dominoes. One person rolls over, hits the next guy, who rolls
Yeah.
over and hits the next guy, and then
Yeah.
That's not a lot of real estate for three guys.
No, with gear and I mean you going so high, you have to have some pretty specialized gear with you. And these packs aren't very big, but they're as full as they can get.
Josh is out.
He's like, man, I'm going to sleep. Fuck this. It's hot. I'm done, dude.
Then you can look into see Makalu there in the background, and you get the big storm clouds building every afternoon.
Yep. Yeah, 27,706 foot Makalu is in the background. That gigantic black mountain. This is our route. That pointed ramp is where we're headed. Which I think that the foreshortening at this point, at this altitude, doesn't quite give you the detail of the route so much as the next episode will. Which will have a bunch of, you see the rock climbing, the ice. Pretty amazing place to be.
What am I? Oh, I'm blowing up my pad. I was like, which let me tell you is a chore at altitude. It's like,
But I thought they were self-inflating.
right. And I think at this point I've got the only pad that hasn't popped.
Correct.
No, yeah, that is correct.
Yes.
But that's why we all brought foam pads and inflating pads.
Yeah. And then came back and bought your pad.
Yes. We all did.
So there's a view darting on up to the summit. Wish it was as easy as a camera push.
melting snow.
Yeah.
The
Oh
constant
man.
chore.
Yep. Look at that face, man. Just the gnar. And to think in a few days, well, and actually in a day, we're going to be up on top of that, looking down and calling it home.
What is this, day 3 now of climbing up the mountain. Had a pretty long day the first day from base camp up to camp 1. Then spent an extra night at camp 1 because of the wind, and now today's day 3. Traversed across with the base of our route, and we decided to double up on our meals today, which is a good plan because none of us really slept very well last night. I think every one of us had probably one of the crappiest days of climbing we've ever had. And yeah, I think we're gonna load up, feel pretty good. Thoughts right now on most things are pretty simple. Thought a little bit about Annie and Nala, missing them, and then of course just kind of looking at the route, looking at the mountain, and get ready to go climbing. Nothing too spectacular. It's nice to be with John and Josh because we're kind of just narrowing it down to a pretty singular mindset of just going climbing and listening to an iPod in the tent amidst lots of Texas Hold'em tournaments.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'd have a lot more video right now of interviews and stuff like that, but I'm trying to be really sparing. I want to make sure we capture the route because we've got a really burly route ahead of us. It's not going to be too easy, but it's not going to be too hard. And our goal mostly is to make sure we have enough battery power to shoot it. And we can talk about it all we want later.
It's true.
Yeah.
Here we are, talking about it later.
Get over here, we're a little fresher, feel more mentally rejuvenated, and eating a little Cajun salmon inferno.
Which is the shit of all dehydrated
That's all I got.
all dehydrated meals. The Cajun one is the bomb.
Yeah, it was actually amazingly good.
Flip that yellow one, John. I get it. Yeah.
And here we are the next morning, beginning what is the base of the steep and technical climbing. But pretty high on the mountain now. I mean, you know, this is
Another
nice.
day in paradise.
This is getting in there and getting on the route and, you know, amping it up. So next episode you'll start to see the actual technical parts of the climb. Josh and John will both be joining me and sharing their opinions about tent life. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we're also about to leave on Brunse 2010 here on Thursday at 4 p.m. You guys got to tune in with skithehimalayas.com.